Yeah. Anyway, which episode is this?
I think last which we have posted is the sixth episode. Wait, let me check. Let me
Oh
check.
God. Yeah, we've officially lost track. It's happened.
No, the thing is, we have lost track because so the sixth was posted.
Yeah.
Last week we didn't post anything.
This week we're posting the
Uh,
tier list.
this week tier list will be the seventh one, which was supposed to be a non-podcast video.
But it is
Are you
gonna.
recording?
I'm recording.
Okay, good. So, yeah, that was supposed to be a separate video, but that is now the seventh podcast because वो
Because
बहुत ही लंबा चल गया.
we recorded for 2 hours. And हमें लगा वीडियो होने वाला है
Yeah,
15 मिनट का. No fucking way.
and yeah, so
No
that
way.
is the seventh podcast, and this is the eighth episode. And another thing, we have not posted on Spotify at all since like the third or fourth episode.
I forgot Spotify even exists, bro. No, no joke. My Spotify membership lapsed, तो Spotify खत्म हो गया. Yeah, I have no idea.
Wow, nice,
Yeah, I have stopped checking
nice.
Spotify. I've stopped checking even my artist profile on there. It's not a good thing.
कोई नहीं भाई वैसे भी Spotify पे कोई नहीं देख रहा हमको.
हाँ भाई, Spotify, we have 3 followers. We have me, we have Kevin, we have my mom.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's fine. We
so
can we
it's
can
okay.
build some content on Spotify as time goes on. But YouTube is doing okay. Hi
YouTube is
guys.
doing fine, like
You're you're watching this
better
video.
than we expected.
Yeah,
Better than we expected.
people are watching.
Um, I am trying to put out short content also, but it is also taking time because generally both of us are very busy right now because
Yeah,
I have my classes the whole day and I am exhausted after them. Uh, and
same with
Moksh
rehearsals.
is
Yeah.
having rehearsals the whole day.
So
He's
it's
sleeping at like 5 a.m.
yeah, it's officially mid-November now, which means it's we're entering full gigging season as time progresses.
Yeah,
Hopefully that
I
means
will
we will
also,
make money.
I will not.
Chances
You
are
will.
low for both of us, bhai. Chances are low.
Yeah, and because it's winter season, so I also have performances which are obviously not paid because it's our school's performance only. Uh, so basically, we have rehearsals after our school classes for our performances. So yeah, that will also take time now.
Best of luck.
But it's good. It's good.
Being busy
Generally,
is good.
I generally want to do more of what I love doing, so I don't mind it. But I'll try, like on the weekends, I'll try to, crunch in whole week editing.
Thank you.
Even the podcast of this week,
Yeah.
uh, uh, जो कि आप लोगों के हिसाब से लास्ट वीडियो जो टियर लिस्ट वाली है वो अभी भी एडिट होनी बाकी है मेरे हिसाब से
And वो
which will be
technically
edited
कल upload होनी
tomorrow.
है.
No,
I mean,
it is
मतलब
supposed to
it's
be
midnight
uploaded.
here now. So
तो यार मेरे लिए नहीं है ना. It's Thursday currently for me now, so Saturday को वीडियो अपलोड होनी है and Friday को after my school I will edit it probably because yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time to me for me to edit,
yeah,
but uh, it's just वो टाइम भी नहीं मिलता वीक में.
exactly. No, I get it, dude. I completely get it.
Because मेरे को अर्ली मॉर्निंग उठना पड़ता है लाइक 6:30 एंड
मेरे
एक
को
घंटे का
कल
मेरा
उठना
ट्रैवलिंग होता
पड़ेगा।
है।
मेरे को कल उठना
See,
पड़ेगा एंड वीकेंड भी।
that's
सो यस,
that's the
lovely.
thing.
Why did we
But
pick this life?
yeah, but yeah, we are doing what we love. Like even
Yeah.
this is something which we love. So we are trying our best, and हम कुछ भी करके कर ही लेंगे। It's just that वो हम कर लेंगे। That is not an issue. But yeah, so first, what we need to talk about is 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, right?
What is the date? It is
Today
now
is 7.
about 10 days ago.
10 days ago was Moksh's birthday,
Woo!
and he rented a Ninja SX1000.
Yeah, so there's a story. There's a story about how that happened. I'll go over the story and then we can talk about the bike.
Yeah.
I booked an Aprilia RS457 and I booked this 3 weeks prior to the date that I was picking up the bike. So I think 26th, 27th, I had rented the bike out. So evening to evening. And 3 weeks before this, I reached out to Talk Rides, just confirming that I'm going to go for the Aprilia RS457. It'll be on this particular date, and then we were sorting out delivery details. 3 weeks, all clear, all good to go. On the morning of the 26th, I wake up to a message saying, "Hey, from a ride with a customer this morning, the bike was having some issues. It is stalling a lot. We have sent it to the service center.
Service center.
Yeah, we've sent it to the service center and it they will give us an update. It should be ready to send to you by 5 p.m. or so. But if it's not, I can either send you the KTM RC390 or I can send you the Ninja 1000 at the same price as the Aprilia, of course." And I was like, okay, this is a
And it,
very interesting offer. Not even a comparison, but ठीक है. And this is not the SX. This is the Ninja 1000. This is the one that came out in 2019. SX came out a little bit after that. It's the same
isn't it
bike.
called the SX?
It's the same bike, but the SX
Okay.
came in the 2020 or 2021 model. And the old Sport Tourer 1000 was just called the Ninja. You want a sport
Okay.
bike? ZX10R. So leader
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
class Ninja 1000 was always a sports touring bike. And then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
called the Ninja 1000 SX in the next one to ease that confusion a bit. But
Mm.
it's still a 1000 SX because it's the same bike, same
It's the
exact
same
bike.
bike, वो
Yeah,
बस टैग उन्होंने बाद में लगाया, बट
exactly.
बाइक बिल्कुल सेम।
Bike way, yeah. So yeah, I asked a few questions to make sure that this whole thing is no strings attached. Because अगर तुम्हें
हम्म
457 के प्राइस पे 1000 मिल रहा है, there's got to be something. The only things
हम्म
that were wrong with the bike, in my experience with it, tail light नहीं चल रही थी, horn
हम्म
नहीं चल रहा था.
Well,
That
you
one
don't really
scared me a
need a
bit.
horn in that bike.
You don't really, but it scared me a little bit in traffic because बहुत आदत है horn दबाने की. And
हम्म
there was a slight issue in steering. You could feel that there's a bit of an imbalance on this particular bike. But ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं.
हम्म
It wasn't like any make or break issues. Bike felt awesome. Now talking about the bike itself and the experience with it. I was looking to make a very small jump, right? So I've ridden 47 bhp motorcycles before. I have ridden some sports bikes before. I've ridden R15 from Kevin's cousin's R15. I've ridden that.
क्या ही बोलोगे उसके बारे में, वो mention 16 हॉर्स पावर।
एंड मैंने RC 200 चलाई है briefly,
हम्म,
ये दोनों bikes, and I liked how they felt. Then I tried the GT 650 from Royal Enfield. Heavier, but same like committed riding position and
yeah,
47 bhp. Felt good. So I was in my mind completely ready for 47 bhp sports bike, lightweight, all that. Just wanted to see how things work out. The jump I ended up making is from 40 to 145. So
yeah.
yeah, some shit went down for sure. It was interesting getting used to it. बहुत बहुत
Mm,
डर लगा बहुत टाइम के लिए उस बाइक से. So very I was on full power mode, but also traction control was on high. So I wasn't on
mm,
low power or rain mode or anything, but maxed out on traction control because I don't trust the roads here and I am not used to throttle response of a 1000 cc bike. But फिर भी
yeah,
was going fairly relaxed on it for the evening, for the night, like literally just clutch छोड़ के जितनी चल रही है उतनी चल रही है. Slight twist of the throttle, just डर लग रहा है, oh no, वापस बंद कर दिया. Then I got at least a half an hour with the bike and I'm like, okay, I can open up the throttle a little bit now. But by this time I was riding with a pillion and मेरे pillion की गांड फट रही थी. Because of course, even my pillion was just jumping from a 40 bhp adventure bike to a 145 bhp sports touring bike. So of course,
yeah.
uh, we took a ride to Noida, rode a liter bike in traffic. That was great. मतलब और कुछ करने को है नहीं दिल्ली में, of course, but rode a liter
Mm.
bike in traffic. Can say that I've done that now, and it's not as bad as people say it is. So it's doable.
It's bad when you have a bike like
Your ZX10 hours and whatnot.
ZX10R, your Daytona or your S1000
When you're,
R1, like
yeah, the very
fully
committed ones.
committed bikes.
The committed,
Yeah, because
committed ones
even
from a posture perspective.
I feel the wrist in my R5 also
Yeah.
sometimes because it is too low.
But the thing about
It's
the
just the
engine
handle pulls.
heat and the weight of the bike, that didn't bother me at all. Those parts
Maybe
were,
in that bike, because
yeah,
I have ridden Daytona and not even while riding, like when the person who owned the bike
yeah,
was
standing in
riding
traffic.
with me and Varun beside us, हमें गर्मी आती थी उसकी बाइक से.
Okay,
हम
fine.
साथ में खड़े हैं उसके.
Okay.
So maybe it depends on bike to bike. Maybe the Ninja 1000 is better in that
Yeah, maybe
part.
the heat management was just good, but
Mm.
I didn't face any problems with heating with that bike.
Yeah.
And also the weight was very manageable because even though it's a heavier bike, it's very well distributed. I think it's some
Mm.
210 kilograms or something. That bike with that exhaust system. I'm not sure about the exact number, but yeah, it was fun. Now on the way back from
Would you
Noida,
consider buying it in future?
hmm, now that's an interesting question. I want to try a lot of different bikes before I say yes or no to that.
Mm.
But did I enjoy that bike enough to be like, ठीक है, this is something I can imagine myself riding on a daily
Yeah.
basis? For sure, 100%. I
Mm.
enjoyed the bike enough to be able to imagine it being my daily driver because when I'm riding in the city, it's still fun to be able to, हाँ ठीक है, I'm controlling the power that this has. But if you take it out on a highway and you're like, okay, I'm not
Mm.
controlling the power anymore. I'm seeing how much there is. A bike that is
Yeah.
able to do both of those things to such a crazy potential is very cool. And the fact that I
Mm.
was able to maintain my city speeds in fifth and sixth gear, pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool. Very tractable motor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I can see
yeah.
how it's a very usable bike, but at the same time, one, big eyeballs from people. That is लोग बहुत ज़्यादा देख रहे थे, which is not always the most comfortable situation.
Well, also you had a goddamn macro power,
SC
right?
project.
SC प्रोजेक्ट, SC प्रोजेक्ट से ज्यादा फटने वाला कोई एग्जॉस्ट नहीं है, टू बी
But
ऑनेस्ट.
this exhaust was like फटने वाला exhaust नहीं था. It was loud. It wasn't obnoxious.
आई डोंट मीन लाइक फटने वाला साउंड लाइक सिंगल सिलेंडर में आता है
हाँ
जनरली, बट
हाँ फट.
एससी प्रोजेक्ट इज जनरली लाइक very loud
Yeah.
cans,
They're
very loud cans.
yeah. So they're louder than quiet exhausts, but they're quieter than the loudest. So I'm saying if you
Hmm.
compare this bike to say a full system Acra Povich or a full system Arrow, then it would be
Yeah.
deafening. But these were still like manageably loud. लोग तभी देख रहे थे
Hmm.
जब मैं पुल कर रहा था and उसमें
Yeah.
these get loud. But
Hmm.
for what it's worth, Varun's straight pipe Duke sounded louder than this bike on the same road most of the time.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So
Well,
SC
Varun's bike
project
is,
cans.
I think, I think Varun's bike is, because Varun's bike is not loud. It's like more bassy sounding. So I think it like echoes more.
Echoes more for sure, but also at higher revs, it is also louder.
Hmm.
Of course, if I were revving the 1000 as high as he was revving the 250, then the volume levels would be something else. But Varun also rides louder.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh,
Okay. So it's probably the riding style difference, and
exactly.
probably you are not using the whole RPM meter, which Varun would be using because he's
Yes.
on a smaller capacity bike.
Yes. So for sure, if I were riding with the same kind of load on the engine, then for sure this
Hmm.
bike would be very loud. But I was
Yeah.
loading the engine much less because it's a much bigger engine and I
Hmm.
don't need to load it.
You don't
I
need it. Yeah.
I did not touch the red line even once because on
भाई
any of
वो
the
करना ही
gears.
मुश्किल है.
Exactly, why. I
Until
think
unless you own it and you have a lot of experience on it.
exactly. And when I say I did not touch the red line once, I don't mean the people that go,
Yeah.
"Oh," I'm not talking about that kind of touching the red line. That's not touching the red line. Touching the red line is when you're going fast and you need to
Actually
upshift.
using the potential.
Yes,
Yeah.
idle revving will kill your bike's engine. Please stop doing that. Huh, sorry.
Yeah. As एक मिनट रुकिए. Uh, मेरा एक कान है ना मर गया.
Nice.
Okay. I'm taking this out. मैं ऐसे ही बात.
Let's go.
If you have any sound issues now,
Now it's
tell
fine.
me.
Yeah, बीच में अटका था.
हाँ वो क्योंकि मैंने डिस्कनेक्ट करा था.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Continue.
Okay, where was I?
RPMs and like potential sound.
Yeah, so I don't mean just idle revving. Don't, that's not redlining, that's killing your engine.
Yeah. Uh, but uh, so we I have never really asked you this question.
Yeah,
But what do you think you would want to be your, highest potential bike to be like? Like, what class of bike do you want? Like, because I know this bike is a sports tourer thing,
yeah,
right? For me personally, I want to have a super sport or a super bike. You already know I want to have the Hayabusa. That is my end game bike.
yeah. Well, technically,
What do
the
you,
Hayabusa
what
is
type of,
also a sports tourer, according to
it is an
Suzuki.
all-rounder bike. You can do everything.
The,
That's why I
yeah,
love that bike because you can do touring. It's very comfortable, to be honest, to for the amount of power and speed it goes to. It's very
yeah,
comfortable. I have ridden it
yeah,
already. I know exactly how it feels, how the weight distribution is. It's an amazing, well-grounded bike. And It's not even that tall also. So you have your feet on the ground properly, and it feels amazing. That's why I really want to have that bike, because that is something which really fits my riding style.
Yeah,
But I want to ask you, what is yours? Like, because you have driven an adventure tourer now, and you have kind of experienced sports bikes, and you own an adventure bike.
yeah.
Where you trying to head?
Very interesting question. I have been asked this before, and I think I have narrowed it down to a very lazy answer. तो मेरे को सारे बाइक्स बहुत पसंद है
I understand that. Like,
and
I also
I
want to
have
have
like
like
different dream bikes in every segment. Uh,
maybe
huh,
be like I want to have a big garage, to be honest. But
exactly.
if you have to choose one bike, because maintenance and पैसा वगैरह नहीं है मेरे पास
Yeah.
अभी तो, at that point what will you choose?
The one bike.
Yeah.
I haven't tried enough bikes to know, honestly, but the one bike, if I had to solidify on one, it would probably end up being all-rounder or sports touring bike, kind of like the
Mm.
1000 SX or like the Hayabusa, or even like if
Mm.
I want to go more towards comfort, Ducati Multistrada types. But
Yeah.
also, also, there is a very huge part of me that wants to have a really dope super sport bike. And there's also a part of me that
Mm.
wants to have a dope cruiser. So,
I understand, because मेरे को भी
yeah,
genuinely like I really want to have a Parak some point in my life, and I want to have a, I want to buy a Splendor and build it
hell
like
yeah,
from scratch,
hell yeah.
customization full, and I want to have like something for off-road, like uh you know like
Like a
the
dual sport
new
types.
Kawasaki we
Yeah.
have, and there are new ones also coming, which we will talk about in a
Mm-hmm.
bit. Uh, and definitely Hayabusa is the number one thing. And also, I would love to have an electric, which I
Yeah.
have talked about a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like ultraviolet, I would love to have that bike.
So currently, I
So
would say
yeah.
my ideal dream bike garage, if I were to give you
Mm,
the categories that I want to own in my life also. For my dream
mm,
adventure bike, I would say I will be sticking with the Himalayan for a long time until
mm.
I graduate to something like maybe a Yamaha Tenere 700. That's a very good
Okay.
bike for your more adventure
Mm,
riding. For
yeah, yeah.
sports touring bikes, I am biased because it's the only one I've tried, but Ninja 1000 SX. I
Mm,
really vibed with that bike a lot. It felt very solid, very stable, very confidence inspiring, but also very friendly same time.
mm.
For a sport bike, in a dream world, R1 is what I really want. But what I think I will end up with is something closer to what we're seeing right now with the R9.
R9, or maybe what about ZX10R?
Who knows? I feel like I would not want to daily a ZX10R. My if
देख
I if
डेली इसको बिल्कुल नहीं कर सकते तुम.
हाँ exactly अगर daily sport bike type, the highest capacity that I would want to ride on a day-to-day basis would be a
Is the
ZX
Aprilia
6R.
6R? That
Yeah,
is not bad.
not bad at all.
Still very heavy.
Very powerful, very
Still very
decent,
powerful. Yeah, I've
very
ridden it,
decent. I
and
have not ridden it, but I have been next to
it's
it
it's
and I've seen it in
it's
person.
probably powerful enough, like the SX, maybe like it
Peak
competes with
power, yeah,
the Z900. To be honest, it
yeah,
competes with the Z900, and you feel it when you give it a little just
yeah.
jump.
I really
Feel
want
it
to try that bike
properly.
because like these Kawasaki's smaller inline fours are something that I'm very
Mm.
interested in. Like even the
They're
4 hour.
genuine fun.
Yeah. But that, but yeah, for the peak sport bike that I would want to own, not the daily, but what I would want to own,
Mm.
Yamaha R1 or Panigale V4. The two different sides.
Money.
Money, exactly. Money or more money. And so adventure बाइक बोल दिया मैंने, स्पोर्ट्स टूरिंग का बोल दिया, स्पोर्ट बाइक का बोल दिया. Is there anything else? Any other categories? Cruiser.
Cruiser.
Harley Fat Boy, I've always really wanted one. Like since I was a
Yeah, yeah.
child, I've wanted a fucking Fat Boy. I went to Harley Davidson का museum when I was like, I want to say 9 years old. And तब से मेरे को फैट
Mm.
बॉय चाहिए यार, लाइफ में चाहिए वो बाइक. किलर बाइक.
Yeah, they look awesome, right? Like, especially like, I don't know, because I'm not genuinely like very much informed about Harleys, different models, but यहाँ when I see a lot of Harleys here, and they look very badass. Like some
Hell
of
yeah,
them
dude.
look good. Because यहाँ पर बहुत सारी ऐसी हैं जो इंडिया में अवेलेबल नहीं है.
हाँ.
So they look fun. And I would like, if I want to buy something here in Germany, I might consider buying something like a Harley here also. Maybe.
Hell yeah. And
To
honestly,
just
dude,
to try out something new.
I know that you're into power way more than you're into torque. In your riding
Mm.
style, I understand why sport bikes are the pinnacle. But a good cruiser will give you a lot of that in the city, what you're looking for, just to be able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
jump from one spot to the next spot. वो torque है, वो सब torque है.
Yeah. And that's the thing about like, cause in Germany you can't really touch the potential. Like obviously there are roads, autobahn वगैरह है. But in city like, अगर मेरे को अपने घर से स्टूडियो तक ट्रैवल करना है, आई वुड नॉट बी गोइंग दैट फास्ट, और यहाँ पर हर 2 मिनट के बाद रेड लाइट है.
Yeah,
सो दैट इज समवेयर वेयर आई वुड लाइक टू हैव द क्रूजर.
makes
एंड आई
sense.
वांट टू हैव अ क्रूजर समवेयर in future in my like garage, but obviously it's not my first choice. Like if I have the money, then I'll have it as a third bike, not even the second.
Makes
Second bike
sense.
would probably an electric.
Makes sense.
That's my lineup.
Makes sense. And I'm not mentioning what electric bike I would want because it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah,
The
yeah. Like there
electric
are
bike
a
I
lot
want does
new
not
ones.
exist yet. Which we
I
can
feel like
also
when we,
transition this conversation into new bikes that have just come out.
yeah. So
We
wait,
are half an hour in.
उससे पहले आइकमा के बारे में we can talk later also, because I don't think the ICMA updates have
They're
fully
not
come
all
out yet.
here.
Like
Yeah,
they're not all here. We can
makes
talk
sense.
about the few things from there, but before that, I want to talk about what happened last weekend in the F1, and
Okay.
how Max Verstappen has went from P17 to
To
fucking
P1.
winning the race.
And even more than that, how we have two fucking Alpines on the podium. How that
Exactly.
happened is okay. Let's just say that
I think it's just
rain is the great
I think
equalizer.
it's just simply lovely.
Simply lovely is exactly what it fucking is, dude. Hell yeah. बोल दिया finally उसने. So yeah, Max won the race after this was the first time he's won a Grand Prix since I think Spain. I'm going to check that
I think
statistic.
so.
Hold on. But it's been some time, basically. It's been a while. It's been a
Yeah,
long time coming. In the beginning of the year, he won a few Grand Prix in a row. So he built that gap. But since
as he
then, I
does.
think we've had, as he does, since then, we've had 7 different race winners in this season from 4 different teams.
Yeah.
It's been a very crazy season. But Brazil GP was the absolutely craziest race of this crazy season. Starting the race off, we had Lance Stroll pitching his car into a gravel trap because
Mm.
obviously वो फॉर्मेशन लैप में ही क्रैश कर दिया बंदे ने. बाप का टीम है तो कुछ भी कर देंगे. Lance Stroll, yes. Uh, After that, first formation lap was aborted. It was an aborted start, but Lando Norris thought it's a regular start. So Lando Norris starts the
चला
race
गया.
on the sign that says aborted start, and three other drivers follow behind him. All three of these drivers get a penalty and a fine.
Penalty.
Hell yes. Now race will start once again. One lap less because of the aborted formation lap. So this was 69 lap race. Nice.
Nice.
And we had a second race start. Lando Norris bottles the start before the first corner. Even George Russell is in the lead of the race by the first corner. Literally, not even entering the corner. This is them first row. Lando Norris. They start well, but then George
And
Russell.
he just goes out.
Yeah. But cool. We had fucking Lando bottles, Lando no wins, all the memes. We had that in this race. There was a lot of contact between a lot of people.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people sliding off track. But what ended up happening was we had multiple red flags because of this. In
Mm.
F1, you can change tires for free under a red flag. So basically,
Mm.
everyone that had not taken a pit stop until the red flag suddenly got a free pit stop. So
Yeah.
Alpine, who has had the slowest car, one of the slowest cars this season, didn't do any pit stops in the whole race, and they were in P1 and P2 by the time we had the second red flag. But
Mm.
Max Verstappen, being Max Verstappen, made his way from the back of the grid to the front of the grid, used the free pit stops also. Lando Norris and George Russell that were running P2 and P1 for most of the race. Virtual safety car हुआ after a bit of contact. They thought we'll pit under virtual safety car. इन दोनों ने pit entrance में ये दोनों गए. Track green flag. ये pit
और
exit
निकल
से
के भाग गए.
बाहर आए. 2 lap. Red flag. Everyone gets free tires now. So they lost
Nice.
positions for no reason. Yeah. Very dramatic race. I would like to do a reaction to some of the stuff from that race also as a separate video because
Yeah, yeah.
epic racing, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Max Verstappen has proved himself to be the four-time
He's a
world champion.
mastermind, भाई. He's a
Absolutely,
mastermind.
brother.
Like,
सब चुप कर दिया, सबको चुप कर दिया उसने. हो गया यार.
yeah,
It's just the car. No, no, it's not.
and I think it was this GP, right, in the sprint where he fucking went ahead of everyone in the pit lane,
Dude,
right? Or
was
was that
it?
last?
I think it could have been the last one that you're mentioning because he did pretty
Yeah.
badly in the sprint in this one.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I was seeing the videos, and I saw one where he like went past everyone because the cars in the front were not letting anyone pass or something. Even
Oh,
I think
I've seen the one you're
Checo was
talking
also
about.
saying that.
I've seen the one you're talking about. I'm not sure which race that is from, but I've seen the video you're talking about. That's not from Brazil, but that was very hilarious. That was hilarious. I think it might be from previous season because women race
And
season होते हुए
because
नहीं देखा.
okay, because I saw that the two McLarens were in the front and they were not letting anyone pass, and Checo was
Checo
behind
was
them.
like, no one's giving me the way. What are they doing? And then Max just like
Yeah, he was
from the
talking
side
on he was talking on the
on the team radio.
comms,
Yeah.
and he was saying that. and at the exact same moment, Max just goes and it's just silence.
Yeah. Dude, that's the difference between Max and Jaco. Max makes his own way.
Exactly.
Nah, but
He is a Indian from mentality. वो सीधा बोलता है माँ चुदा है.
भाई मैक्स बोलता है आण दे
भाई literally Max is a Creta driver, to be honest.
Dude,
अगर
if
वो
you
इंडिया
look
में होता
at
वो
his
क्रेटा चला
onboard,
रहा होता
if
भाई.
you look at his onboard footage from this race, it's just like, हाँ ठीक है, okay, bye. Everywhere. He's used the
Yeah.
same type of overtake like 4 times in the same race, and nobody was able to defend against it. Other than Charles Leclerc from Ferrari, that guy is able to defend against
यार
Max.
पता है मुझे लगता है मैक्स को है ना उस पे तरस आता है.
But I don't think so. I think the reason they have good battles is Max and Charles Leclerc have been driving together since they were in the karting
Since the
days.
go-karting days.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
And
they have a small incident.
a small incident they had. Yes. But also because of the karting experience only, Alpine and Max Verstappen, these guys grew up in
Mm.
very rainy areas. So they
Yeah,
all
yeah.
did well in the Brazil GP. So for people
Mm.
that are trying to look for ways to improve their skills, please go karting when it rains. It will help your driving immensely overall.
Yeah.
Try not to have an
And
incident.
also one quick MotoGP update. So Pecco and Jorge Martin were literally neck to neck, and Pecco bottled it in the last
Oh
race
no.
which happened, and Jorge is pretty much like it's like 60-40 now. Earlier it was 50-50. Now it's 60-40, but there is still, I think, two or three more GPs left. So it's still fighting chance because, points तुम बहुत सारे गेन
Yeah.
कर सकते हो एक वीकेंड में ही आराम से. So it's like अभी जितना like लैंडो नॉरिस और मैक्स के उसमें चल रहा है. It's the same what's happening in MotoGP also.
Bro, अब तो मैक्स ले गया यार. अब
मैक्स यार मैक्स है वो खतरनाक इंसान है.
even until
अब वो
the
गया.
last race, even until the last race, I would have said that Lando has a very good chance because I'm a very
हम्म,
big supporter of McLaren. I'm a very big supporter of Lando Norris. But यार मैक्स ले गया मैं क्या बोलूं this race win was exactly what he needed. Now there's a difference of 2 points between where he is right, or 7 points between where Max is right now and to where he
yeah.
has the world championship without any contending. Like even if he doesn't finish the rest of the races, he will
हम्म,
have the world championship. Right now, there I don't think there's anyone catching up. The game
yeah.
is now between McLaren and Ferrari for the constructors. If
हम्म.
McLaren can hold their lead in constructors, that would be great.
I think they will because they have a lot of points in the team.
A decent amount of points, yeah. Like they've been very consistent in this season for sure. Ferrari is catching up though.
Yeah.
And
हम्म.
say what you will about this season, it has been a little up and down. Next season बहुत बहुत killer होने वाला
भाई
है.
next season
We
for
have
MotoGP and F1 will be amazing because biggest thing I would say Hamilton moving
Hamilton
to
to
Ferrari
Ferrari.
would be fucking
भाई
amazing.
पूरे ग्रिड में rookies भरे हुए हैं. Fresh
Exactly.
blood all throughout the grid. There's like I think 5 or 6 new drivers in 2025.
Yeah. And with MotoGP, fucking Mark Marcus is teamed up with Pecco for the Ducati official team,
Hell yeah.
and Jorge Martin is going from the Ducati Tarmac to Aprilia.
Okay.
Yeah, shifted to Aprilia because basically the Ducati official team didn't offer him the contract
Contract extension?
on time. So basically, there was this thing going on. Who would be Pecco's teammate?
Yeah.
and it was supposed to be Ducati's decision who they offer. The only two people who were, making sense was Jorge Martin and Mark Marcus, because उनके contracts basically सबके contract खत्म हो रहे थे,
Yeah,
other than Fabio Quartararo, who is Yamaha's main rider and one of the good riders. I love him, but the bike is fucking shit.
at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, so basically Ducati didn't was taking a lot of time to make the decision because again Mark Marcus, Jorge Martin, big riders, big names.
Yeah.
Uh, Jorge Martin couldn't wait anymore. He went to Aprilia and he signed the contract. And
Makes
as he
sense.
signs the contract, Ducati went to Mark Marcus
Okay.
because उनके पास और कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. And at this time, Parmac, leaving the Ducati, went to Yamaha to sponsor them with making a new bike.
And is that going to be the
Uh,
Yamaha V4?
yes, that is
Okay.
going to be V4. They are not using an inline 4 now.
Yeah. It's just been a long time
So
change, long change coming.
that's a change, and we'll see how Yamaha does. I don't know if they are going to introduce that new bike in the next year or not, but I think since Parmac are basically sponsoring them, they will introduce it. They should. And
But a
Fabio,
change is coming.
Fabio Quartararo is an amazing rider. He has been riding for a long time. He has had like good wins against like people like Mark Marquez. So he's pretty good. If the bike performs good, he can like compete in
And
the top five at least.
that would finally be bringing the Japanese bikes back to
Yeah,
contention in MotoGP.
yeah.
It's
Was
been, for a few years, it's just been the European bikes at the top of the grid.
yeah, because of these reasons, like the bike's not getting updated. Suzuki had to leave because भाई उनके पास था ही नहीं. Like they were not winning, and Honda is Mark Marcus left Honda because of it. Honda is
Yeah.
at the back right now, and they are using thick of it in their reels, KSI songs. So I don't know what the fuck is Honda doing.
Honda's going from the
They
screen to the ring to the pen to the king.
exactly. So yeah, that is it
Yeah.
for motorsports right now.
Motorsports
Next season,
update. Let's go. Next season
next
is going
season
to be
will be
wild for both.
amazing. Yeah. And next year, MotoGP might come to India. Don't know for sure. Maybe they have said it officially,
Yeah,
but
they've been saying next year,
they've been
next
saying
year for a while
it
now.
for yeah. It was supposed to be 2025, but now they're saying 2026.
By last year it was going to be 2024. नहीं हुआ ना इस साल
Yeah,
भी. It's fucked. But it's cool, it's fine. I hope they do come back. And I hope that it's still at Booth because
it
we
will be
have
at both
we have
because
a
there is
circuit
no
close to
other
us.
internationally certified track
Yet.
which can be used.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Do
think they're building a racetrack in Jaipur,
I don't know about
if
one
I'm
in
not wrong.
Jaipur. They're building another one in Coimbatore.
I don't know. There was some track getting built, which is also an international track. I think it was in Jaipur or somewhere.
There's
But
one in Coimbatore, Coast High Performance Center, right?
which part of India is that?
South, south side.
South. Which state?
Coimbatore is not Tamil Nadu.
Is it
I think it's
Tamil
Tamil
Nadu
Nadu. I
or
think it might be Tamil Nadu.
okay?
मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन
मैं
स्प्रेड
nervous.
करने से पहले एक
I
बार
was
गूगल कर लेते हैं.
Because I was hearing that, there was a new track being built in Jaipur, which would be international track, like the both circuit.
Coast High Performance Center is in Tamil Nadu. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
And just check, is there a track being built in Jaipur?
Let
Not.
me check. New racetrack, Jaipur. None that I can see right now.
Okay, so it might be the one you are talking about, because I was seeing some news about a new internationally certified racetrack being built, which would be better than Budh, because Budh में money issues आते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा.
But both the track
So
बहुत अच्छा है. From
Budh
everything
track
that I've
अच्छा है.
seen,
I have
MotoGP
been
onboards,
to the track.
F1 onboards, the fucking video you showed me. The
Yeah.
track is amazing. I really want to ride there once.
You can, maybe I will let you know if I get any update or check what date, because Yamaha track day always happens.
Hell yeah.
You can just go. It's very easy. Uh, but yeah, I have done two Yamaha track days, so it's amazing. I have done first one was in wet, second one was in dry. Dry में बहुत मजा आता है,
Nice.
बहुत ज्यादा. वेट में गांड पड़ जाती है
Of
तुम्हारी.
course, bhai. Of course.
Uh, and that track is actually very hard, because वो बना F1 के लिए था. उस पे बाइक चलाने का सेंस बनता नहीं है ज्यादा थोड़ा.
I think MotoGP के लिए they also had to modify the track quite a lot. I think three different corners.
Yeah, yeah. Even our track days, they had to, like, I think, switch things a little bit. But yeah, even when the MotoGP also happened, a lot of people crashed on some corners, because those corners are very, very like whoop,
Yeah.
hairpin turns. So yeah, but it's fun. And I would love to, genuinely go on that track, full potential without a marshal on a good bike someday.
Dude, tell me one thing. From your experience on BIC, what
Mm.
did the elevation changes on the track feel like?
There is a lot, and you can't like predict it properly until unless you have, because हमें literally बस 3 laps मिले थे. You can't predict it until you have like had a practice session type of thing
Yeah,
on it. And 3 laps में, okay, you can get a experience, but you can't go fast that way.
of course.
But there is good elevation in the track.
So
I
the
don't think I
jacket
don't know
right
if it's
behind you,
natural or not, but it's good.
a lot of it is man-made elevation
Yeah, yeah. It felt
because
like man-made
yeah,
because
mostly it was flat land that they built it on.
mm, but there is good amount of elevation in the track.
The jacket behind you, Michael Schumacher.
It is from the time where F1 happened in India. It is from that only.
So I'm saying he is quoted as saying that both international circuit was his favorite roller coaster of all time.
और
Because,
मैं बता रहा हूँ भाई,
huh?
there is literally a turn which goes like
And
there is
then down.
literally a turn which goes like this, goes like this with a elevation like this.
Yeah.
U-turn kind of a thing with an elevation, and
And then
it's like कि भाई
into the
पहाड़ की
straight,
रोड पे
it's
चल रहे हो.
downhill into the straight, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hell yes, bro. Hell yes.
So you go like this into a downhill and then turn into the pit lane, like the biggest stretch
There is a
of the track.
small possibility that I will get to try at some point in the coming future. But what bike do you think I should try it on?
I think you should go with a sports bike, any kind of sports bike. Even if you take a R15, it would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it has to be a sports bike for this track.
Yeah.
But I was trying to I was trying to
I
see
will
what
I
I should
will
take.
personally, मैंने जितने भी लोगों से बात करी है who have done the track, RC390 is the best option.
Okay. I'll spend some time getting
Want
used
to have
to that
good
as well.
power also,
अब तो
because RC
457 भी
isn't.
भाई RS 457 भी ऑप्शन है.
Yeah, but RC is more committed and is more lean friendly.
Okay.
Like it's a machine which is made for leaning.
Okay.
Not the new RC, but the old one.
The BS4.
Yeah, you can BS4, BS3, you can lean them amazingly.
That chassis.
Yeah.
Sick dude.
Yeah. How much time is has it been since we have been recording?
53 minutes. Do you want to can it?
53 minutes. Okay, we can talk about few things which have happened outside of EICMA, which the
Is
first one would be, did we talk about the bear? I
we
don't think so.
brought it up briefly.
Yeah. First, okay. So I just want to talk about Royal Enfield, the new ones. Just the
Yeah.
new Royal Enfield, because they have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
First thing would be the bike which was teased in the last podcast we also talked about,
The flying flea.
the Flying Flea C6.
Yeah. Also an S6 coming.
Okay,
The scrambler.
nice.
The electric scrambler. Same platform.
Yeah, but it has again not been unveiled right now.
They've unveiled it visually, but again, nothing on the specs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the same event, they announced both bikes.
Hmm.
C6 looks good.
E6 looks like how electric bike should look like.
Exactly. Now range, I don't know.
No clue.
Power,
No clue
I
about
don't
range,
know.
power, speeds, nothing.
But it's an EV. It's from Royal
Yep.
Enfield, which is something that I didn't think I would say. And I kind of like it. It looks
I like
good.
the design. I like the design of it.
Visually, it looks great. From how they're
Hmm.
describing it and from the videos, it looks like it's going to be a very manageable, maneuverable, nimble, lightweight motorcycle.
Yeah, it's something I would take to, go out for my daily work.
Just city commutes and stuff. City
Yeah.
Plus, they called it in their introduction to Flying Flea as a category. They're saying that this is
Mm.
going to be the City Plus category.
Yeah.
But in your opinion, how much range is enough range for even a city commute?
100 plus is good enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
'Cause
Even if it's difficult to
People like
charge.
me, people like me and Varun are genuinely doing like 40 easily every day.
Yeah,
He does more than 40 and he has a
exactly.
Revolt right now, Revolt 400. That also works for him.
Yeah,
And my scooter works for me. So they do that range with more power and top speed. That would also work
makes sense.
because more top speed in the same range would destroy their whole competitions,
Makes
which
sense.
is, to be honest, is Revolt, Aether, and Ola.
And honestly, they're entering into a segment of EV bikes, which right now in India at least is not really there. Like
Exactly.
we have two things. We have the bikes that are trying to be motorcycles, and then we have the bikes that are trying to be scooters. We don't
Yeah.
have the thing that's right in between, which is what I think an EV is supposed to be.
Mm.
Right? So there are we have our ultraviolets, of course, and we have our Olas and we have our Aethers. But we don't have our sort of like Indian domestic market for something like the Saron, which is way too expensive
Only
for what
Revolt
it
is
is.
there. Only Revolt is there, and I have seen a lot of Revolts, but again, it's not that popular even right now because Revolts are still expensive, as expensive as the Aethers, and
Yeah,
people are like, okay, if we are buying at that price, why not buy something which is more comfortable and is a little more modern? That's why people buy the Aethers and Olas because
yeah.
they're like literally. I have had this conversation and people are like, "अरे आगे जगह होती है सामान रखने की."
Hmm.
So they would rather buy a scooter
Makes sense.
because Revolt में gear तो है नहीं because it's an EV.
Yeah.
People don't really care about that. But with this, I think the design is the big thing which Royal Enfield is giving. To be honest, because people
Retro
who want to
futurism,
buy EV,
full power.
like me, Varun, potentially you also, are looking for looks, range, and good prices.
And comfort.
Yeah,
Comfort is a big one because with EVs, I'm not particularly looking at a good performing motorcycle as much as I'm looking at an engaging motorcycle that I don't mind spending a lot of seat time in. Because
exactly.
I know that my garage will never be purely electric. For my long
Hmm,
range sort of stuff, I will always have an adventure motorcycle. After owning the Himalayan, I understand the value of always having an adventure bike that is capable of running on shit petrol, right? You
exactly.
don't know what you're gonna get where. You're not always gonna get a spot to charge. That has that shit sorted. For my city
Hmm,
use, I can see myself on something like maybe the C6 or the S6 if they are engaging enough. I don't need it to be
exactly.
fast, but I just need it to handle in that way that makes me smile. Same as the Himalayan.
Yeah, even if it makes enough like top range as a fucking Splendor,
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind it.
exactly.
But the EVs right now are also not doing that. Like their top class, better than anything ever. Like Ola and Ather have the best talk ever. But after the speed of 60, those bike everything dies in the EV segment right now, that segment.
Yeah,
उसके बाद लिटरली 60 की स्पीड पे तुम बोर हो जाते हो एक टाइम के बाद लाइक इफ यू ट्रैवलिंग 20 किलोमीटर यू विल गेट बोर्ड
yeah,
लाइक लिटरली मैं अपना स्कूटर ऐसे पैर ऊपर रख के चला सकता हूँ
yeah,
एक हाथ से बिकॉज मैं बोर हो रहा हूँ एंड एट दैट पॉइंट व्हेन यू आर गोइंग दैट स्पीड consistently at 60 you kind of fear of having an accident.
yeah,
So I would just want it to go above 100 or at least 100. Like your revolts and aethers and olas kind of go to 90. But again, I want to them to do more with the range because उधर तक जाते हो तो उनकी रेंज कम हो जाती है
hmm,
obviously because आपको मोड स्विच करना पड़ता है.
yeah. So we're basically not looking for it to be very fast, just enjoyable. And range is a very important segment in this. Range
Yeah.
and price. So performance, range, and price. If you can figure these three out,
अगर
Royal Enfield, you have buyers ready.
या अगर 100 की टॉप स्पीड रखते हुए कॉन्स्टेंटली इफ इट गिव्स आउट अ रेंज ऑफ 100 amazing.
Yeah,
Like for that 1.5 lakh
yeah,
price, good.
easily, easily. Yeah, price it like a commuter. That is also the very important
Yeah,
thing here. Do
that's the
not
big.
price it like a premium bike. Because
Nobody will buy it then.
Because then you will fall into the same trap like the Saron. It's got the enthusiast side of the market where they're like, oh, we were looking for exactly this lightweight electric bike. And Saron is great, but when you go to buy one, doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah. And this is 100% targeted for Indian market, so it should be according to the Indian price.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying here. That is
Also,
all they need to do.
I have to go shit badly. So before I do that, let's finish this off by talking about the new 650s.
Yeah. So two new 650s launched, Air 650 and the Classic 650.
Yes, okay. Even though I am biased towards the classic car styling in general, as a bike, the Bear is better. The Bear is
Definitely.
significantly better motorcycle, but if you're looking for classic retro motorcycle that has a little bit of a modern push to it, the classic 650 is a very good bike.
Yeah.
Is it the
It
best for
the only thing
India?
is
I
it's
don't know.
just very big size
It's
wise. That is the
it is
only
a
thing.
big bike which is going to make it difficult in traffic.
Yeah.
It's a bike that has the same sort of suspension as we had on the shotgun. So not
Which
very
is not good.
comfortable. Yeah, it's gonna be stiff for Indian roads majorly. Or if it's not stiff and they've just retuned it, maybe it'll be a little bit better. But because the hardware is definitely the same, it's not going to be like comfortable suspension.
Mm.
Interceptor, on the other hand, the Interceptor Bear 650, they have made it lighter. They've given it actually good suspension.
It's basically a scrambler now.
Exactly. It's proper OG retro scrambler bike. It's in fact based on a real scrambler motorcycle that was
Mm.
used for rallies, the Big Bear
Yeah.
Run. Very happy to see that bike. It's something I will want to try for sure. But they could have bumped up power a little, in my opinion. If you had enough in you to retune the engine to make more torque, you can make a little bit more power.
Royal Enfield in general could bump up their power in every bike.
Because when they actually did that, they made the best engine they've ever made. When
Yeah,
Royal Enfield was like, ठीक है, this does not have enough power, fuck air and oil, we go liquid cooling. क्या बना दिया भाई? Double double power output सीधा. So I know that they're
exactly.
capable. I know that they're very capable of making that killer motorcycle. They haven't made it yet, but they're on the right path. I
Yeah,
am
like
excited to see
the
what
way
they do with the
they're,
750.
the way they're updating their lineup and doing things is amazing. It's something which I expect Bajaj to do now. And slowly, I think over the next few years, Royal Enfield will be, one of the best uh, choosing like, motorcycle brands
Yeah,
to go for. Like, cause they will, if they actually update the engines also in their all the bikes, to be honest, if they tweak it a little bit and make basically make their bikes weigh a little less and make their like engines produce a little more power,
they can
their
straight
bikes will
up,
be sorted.
yeah, they can straight up compete with Triumph at that point
Exactly.
because they fill a very, very similar market. But I think Triumph is much further ahead than Royal Enfield is in that market right now.
And it's not like Royal Enfield is not capable of doing that. Royal
They're
Enfield is
very capable.
100% capable of doing that globally, not
Bro,
even
as
Indian market. Globally, they are capable of
take
doing it.
take my word on this, as far as I can tell, Royal Enfield will be the first major Indian manufacturer to come out with a 1 liter motorcycle engine.
Yeah, I think that would be true.
The
I
first
also
the
agree
first
with that
Indian
because
liter bike will be a Royal Enfield. And
it will
the
because
look on your face when I said that was like, हाँ ये मैंने सोचा नहीं था, but यही
नहीं नहीं
होगा.
नहीं I was thinking कि और कौन से इंडियन ब्रांड्स हैं जो
हाँ
ये कर
उतने
सकते हैं.
नहीं है यार.
Exactly. Like what is their competition in Indian market? TVS
Hero,
and Bajaj.
TVS, and Bajaj. Yeah.
Hero, completely forgot about Hero because okay, now Hero is making good moves like this year,
Yeah.
but Hero is still, very, very small according to me. The only good thing they did was the X-Pulse
Okay.
and the Extreme.
And the charisma,
Charisma, the new one,
the
right
new one.
now, which
Okay.
was
Huh.
announced at EICMA,
Yeah.
not the one before. That
Makes
was
sense.
average.
Yeah.
That was not their
New one
best.
is
The
actually good.
older Charisma was better.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Right now, what they have done with the new Extreme and the new Charisma,
Yeah.
the older Extreme was also amazing. Like
Yeah.
the 160,
Yeah.
not the 200. 200s were bad design. 160 was amazing, one of the best bikes in the segment. The only bike which could compete to that is the Pulsar N160,
Yeah.
performance wise. No, nobody is faster than that bike. But now what they have made with the new Extreme 250 and the Charisma 250, amazing.
Straight
Love
up,
the designs of
straight
those
up
bikes.
Duke and RC competitors that no one
Straight up.
expected.
The 200s, not
Yeah.
the 390s.
Yeah, no, those are a little far away. Now, when there's a Charisma 440, X-Pulse 440, and an
There is
Extreme
an X
440,
there is an X-Pulse 400 which is
there
on
was
its way.
they're still working on it, I know, but when
Yeah,
it comes out, these are going to be the killer segment bikes
yeah,
for
but and
Hero
we will talk about these things
in
in
our
detail
next episode.
नेक्स्ट पॉडकास्ट cause आइकमा का अपडेट्स पूरे आ जाएंगे फिर.
Huh.
But I think Hero is not at a point where they are focusing on bigger bikes. They are right now fixing their lower segment bikes. Bajaj has completely destroyed their lineup with a fucking
Too
shit ton of
many,
bikes.
too many lower
Too
segment
many
bikes.
pulsars.
Yeah, too many pulsars basically.
And TVS
TVS is still doing
is
interesting things,
done good.
but they are stuck.
TVS has done good, but it's missing something
Yeah,
somewhere
they are
always.
stuck, I think. They need to
They
do
they can't
more
make
good.
the best bike, they can't make the worst bike also.
They may need to reconsider their working relationship with BMW.
The thing is with BMW does not give a fuck, I think.
Exactly.
Because designing part, I don't know. TVS doesn't have good designing people. Like even Bajaj doesn't have good designs right now,
Yeah.
but it's like Bajaj is either a hit or a miss.
Yeah.
Hero is weird with its designing.
Yeah.
Royal Enfield has completely changed its design and is amazing now.
Yeah.
Like all the designs are good now.
Yeah.
I think the only bad design which they had was the old Himalayan, which they fixed,
Which I
obviously.
already like that design, so it's cool.
Yeah. The thing which I feel like is Hero is nowhere near right now.
Yeah.
TVS can do it. They are 100% capable doing it because they have a genuine good tie-up with BMW. The only
Yeah.
thing which they need to fix is their designs.
Yeah.
But if they are taking the liter class and half liter class designs from BMW, which I don't think BMW will give them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that would be good. But because अगर अगर BMW ने TVS को अपने हाफ लीटर और लीटर क्लास बाइक्स के डिजाइन दे दिए तो TVS लिटरली वही सेम बाइक्स ऑन अ वेरी अफोर्डेबल प्राइस बना देगा
बना सकता है.
because that would be good.
Yeah.
Bajaj can make a liter class bike. Their engineering is capable enough,
But they won't. They'll just
but they are
make 35 new 125cc bikes.
they are just stuck making small shitty bikes. They
Stuck
are not
making
making
more
the Pulsar
more
400.
pulsars.
We want the Pulsar 4V. ठीक है, वी वांट द RS4 V4 4V कुछ जो भी बोलो, V4 चाहिए हमें, पल्सर RS, ठीक है। Royal Enfield, on the other hand, can make a liter class bike, but I think it will be a cruiser still.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, EICMA, we will talk about in the next podcast next week, which will be way after EICMA has already gone past.
Yeah,
So people will know everything about whatever has happened, but we will still talk about it because that's
because
what we do.
बात तो करनी है हाँ रिकॉर्ड कर ही लेते हैं.
Yeah,
My last thing I would want to say about the 650s is Classic
mm,
650 is a good bike. I think they should have put it out before they put out the Super Meteor and the Shotgun.
definitely. Because
Because,
the thing is, Super Meteor will outshine it, I think. Even the shotgun will outshine it.
yeah, because they,
There's people are not buying the shotgun right now.
yeah, while
Why?
there
Because
are,
the Super Meteor exists.
while there are like really good things about the Classic 350, if they had put out, sorry, Classic 650, if they had put out the Classic 650 before the Super Meteor, then the whole lineup would have made more sense in terms of, ठीक है,
Yeah,
here's the Classic, this is the neutral riding position. इसमें से we took out the Super Meteor. This is the still retro but more cruiser riding position. इससे we took out the Shotgun. This is a little more modern retro. So the lineup would make more sense that way.
I think it's more of a bobber, to be honest.
Yeah, but not a real bobber either. So
Yeah,
either they should have made bigger difference between the shotgun and the classic.
yeah, exactly. I think shotgun should have been more of a bobber.
Yeah, for sure. Or the classic should have been more of a bobber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that could have been
but
possible.
all still good bikes. Have tried their
Yeah,
650cc
and I just
engines.
think
They are fun.
if they, I just think if with the bear, if they have introduced the bear, they should discontinue the old interceptor because the old interceptor doesn't make any sense to me personally.
It's a good bike. The old Interceptor also.
It's definitely a good bike, but since you have all the other 650s, I don't know what the interceptor is supposed to be
So
exactly.
the old Interceptor is supposed to be the most neutral Royal Enfield can possibly be. And if you,
But now you have the classic 650.
the classic 650 is not as neutral as your Interceptor. So, say you still want to go with retro styling, but you want to be even more neutral than the classic. You don't want to go as retro as the classic, but you want to go as you don't want to go as modern as
As the GT.
exactly. GT also I wouldn't say modern by that logic at all.
But GT is more like more committed.
Huh, huh. So they're filling in different categories, and I think the bear makes sense as a
Bear definitely
subcategory.
makes sense
It makes sense
as
as
a
a
scrambler.
subcategory of your interceptor. But I don't
Mm,
think the interceptor should be removed because still the
yeah,
interceptor is the most modified Royal Enfield till date.
yeah.
Global market, man.
I think no. I think globally Himalayan is way does way better, to be
Yeah,
honest.
true.
And globally, GT650 is more seen than the Interceptor.
But the Interceptors is still seen as the bike that you can modify into anything
Yeah,
because
that's
of how
true.
neutral it is.
And I think because people were modifying it, that's why they have put out the bear.
Exactly.
Because
Because
you don't
people,
need to modify the bear.
exactly. People were already doing exactly bare ke modifications like improved
Exactly.
suspension, lightweight, instead of a 2 into 2, they
Exactly.
put a 2 into 1, and better tires. Suddenly you have a scrambler, right?
Yeah.
So Royal Enfield just made the most popular way that people were modifying their interceptors because the interceptor scrambler has been around for a while.
Mm.
The Interceptor is probably still the best Royal Enfield 650 bike to tour with in India.
Agreed.
GT is
Yeah,
not
for touring.
comfortable enough,
GT is not comfortable at all
and you
for
have
touring.
your Super Meteor, Shotgun, and Classic too
Super
stiff.
Meteor is very stiff, very bad
Exactly.
suspension.
So it- right now, if you want 650 with good suspension, for road use, best is still to get your Interceptor. And if you know you're going
Mm.
to take it off-road also, then you get your
Yeah.
Bear.
Mm.
So I think
Nice. Okay.
that's where the Interceptor makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
There is still too many 650s in my opinion.
Exactly.
They need
बहुत ज्यादा
to
हो गया.
narrow it down, or they need to now shift their focus to the
The thing is,
750 that
I
they
think
were
now they
doing.
have made everything which was possible. Now they need to make a better 350s, or like update their 350s. 450s are perfectly fine where they are. 650s are done for
Yeah,
me. Either make your 350s better performance or make a newer, bigger bike.
which is
That's
what
what
they're doing.
Royal Enfield should do.
They're working on basically building a new engine off of the 650 ka platform, which maybe they should be building a liquid cooled platform instead, but okay. You
Mm.
want to stick to the big air cooled engines, so okay. They're working on a 750cc that is most likely going to be first seen in the bigger Himalayan,
Yeah,
which will be approximately based on their power figures that I've seen in their air-cooled engines, 55 bhp, 56 bhp. It's not going to be that much bigger than much more power than your 650s. Exactly. Which is why I think they should be focusing on the liquid-cooled engines more because they've made something very cool. But ठीक
yeah,
है, Royal Enfield is Royal Enfield. They'll do what Royal Enfield does. They will
yeah.
strike
And
gold once every few years, and हम उसी में खुश रहेंगे.
yeah, I think all the Indian manufacturers just need to make bigger bikes and make
Better.
genuinely better like engines.
Like straight up innovate more because I have seen every time an Indian manufacturer actually innovates, they make something very cool.
भाई बहुत अच्छा बनाते हैं, बट
But
उसके
बनाते नहीं
बाद
है.
अपनी ही माँ चौथ देते हैं ये.
Exactly. Like innovative mindset है. बट इनोवेशन जब लानी होती है तब थोड़ा सा दे
Hesitate. Yeah,
will the market agree with this move? Bro, the market is already disagreeing with half the shit you do. Do bolder shit. एटलीस्ट
yeah,
आधा जो खुश होगा वो बहुत ज्यादा खुश होगा तुमसे राइट नाउ आई एम नॉट अपसेट विद रॉयल एनफील्ड इन एनी वे आई लव व्हाट दे आर डूइंग बट आई genuinely think they have
they
the
need to move
potential
on.
to do a lot more and they need to move on from the current because dude
Yeah,
they tried something new and it fucking worked. So why
I think
move
everything
back?
new works because nobody wants the old things
Yeah,
now.
nobody wants same old over and over and over again.
Overdoing things like nobody cares about it. People crave for new things, अलग कुछ हो बढ़िया. And last time I remember like something big happened was with the Indian manufacturers. For every manufacturer, the biggest thing last which I remember uh, with the Royal Enfield, they are constantly doing new things now. The last biggest thing was I think the Himalayan which they did
Yeah,
440,
yeah,
the
450.
450. Hero was basically the Charisma, which was still a letdown. But with Hero was more of like the Harley
Tie up. Yeah.
tie-up. Bajaj के साथ the last thing which I actually was the big blow up was the probably the N250, not even
Okay.
the 160, the N250, because that was a new design.
Yeah.
Usse pehle was just the RS for me.
Yeah.
Like they didn't do shit for like straight
Yeah.
7 8 years. Apache for TVS was a big thing,
Yeah, for sure.
and they did good with the Apache. But again, Apache still disappoints in power because उसके comparison की जो competitors हैं are making better performance engines.
Which is a shame because the handling of that motorcycle is amazing.
Yeah, for me it was the handle was very uncomfortable when I tested it,
Okay.
but I drove it for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
because it testing में वो उससे ज़्यादा देते नहीं है
It
तुम्हें.
could also be a particular test bike issue.
Yeah, maybe, but I was coming from the RS to the Apache.
Yeah.
RS was more comfortable,
Okay.
and seeing that the RS is not that far from Apache's performance level also. Like
Yeah.
obviously Apache has a bigger top end, to be
Yeah.
honest. But RS still competes with it
Yeah.
on the lower ends, mid ends, and like till RS की top speed तक RS will compete with the Apache. That's the thing.
Makes sense.
That's what Apache just needs to improve. And I the with the new update, which they have increased the power. I haven't tried the new one.
Yeah, same.
उन्होंने winglet डाल के माँ चोद दी उसकी.
So
नो रीजन, कोई रीजन नहीं था उसको डालने का उधर.
before we get back on that topic, we already have a video talking about this, which will
Yeah,
be over here. Just go click there. Video will be in the information card. But yeah, so basically, what I want to wrap it up with is EICMA is looking like it's shaping up well, and I want to talk about those
like mine is
bikes.
looking amazing.
And
Like I love the
yeah,
new updates which are coming out, and I can't wait for all the updates to come out.
so we can fucking
And
yap about
really
them.
looking forward to the Auto Expo also, because
Yes,
Auto Expo is the place where the things get finalized
yes,
for India. EICMA
yes,
is more global,
yeah.
so इंडिया में उसमें से EICMA से भी इंडिया में भी क्या आएगा वो ऑटो एक्सपो में पता चल जाता है हमें.
And
उसमें भी a lot of things don't make out of Auto Expo.
exactly. But it'll be a much better representation.
Yeah, but there are a lot of Indian brands which are releasing things in EICMA now,
Yes, which
which
I'm very
generally
happy to
doesn't
see.
happen.
Yeah, happy to see the new Royal Enfields, happy to see the new heroes. And we'll
Yeah,
talk about all of this in the next
the
episode.
next episode.
Thank you guys for watching for as long as this episode got at the end of it anyway. See you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Peace out.
Bye bye.